day 12. Chest day today. Took a unscheduled rest day yesterday. You know, sometimes an actor gets hurt on set and you got to shut down production for a couple days. I happened to tweak my back on the belt squats doing legs in the previous video, which didn't look as bad as it felt when it happens. And for the next couple days later, I'm still feeling it a little bit, but I'm feeling all right. I thought that I might have herniated I thought I maybe had herniated a disc or something, but I think I just had a back spasm, probably just from being dehydrated. And I don't know why, but I have issues with back spasms and stuff just going back further into my lifting career, and even just playing sports and stuff in high school. I've gotten them before, so whatever. It feels like it's going away now though, so I'm just going to be careful and make sure that whatever I'm doing for chest is not pissing it off or anything. So I'm going in not necessarily with a plan, but I have a pretty good idea of what I want to do. If my shoulders aren't agreeing with that, then I'm going to have to do something else. I was moving stuff around in my room a couple hours ago and felt something weird happen in my shoulder. So I'm not going to ignore that, but I'm going to see how I feel. I'm going to push it as much as I can. If I'm feeling all right, then we're going to go hard. I'm here pretty late again, and I feel that while there's benefit to coming later in the day, especially having all your meals in you and having a nice store of energy, having been rested throughout the day, if you don't get your meals in and you're just tired and have no energy, you've just gone through your day, and at the end of it, really, you're not in a prime position to be lifting, might have been more beneficial to get it out of the way to start. I've mentioned this before, but what you do outside of the gym, all the recovery and stuff, is just as important as what you're doing in the gym. While you're creating the situation for muscle growth to happen with what you're doing in the gym, the muscle growth happens in the hours preceding before you come back into the gym again, if you have done all the things to recover properly. Now, I'm no exercise scientist or anything, but I was working out earlier in the day. For most of the time that I was training, if my schedule allowed it, I would work out probably around 11 o'clock or earlier, and usually fasted. I think not only did the pre-workout hit harder on a fasted stomach, I generally have had better lifts, and that might just be because of the fact that I'm tired, just having gone throughout my day, not having eaten enough, versus maybe just being on the stores of whatever carbs I'd eaten the day before. I don't know. Maybe the digestion's holding me back a little bit. If I try not to eat too soon before the gym, but maybe just the fact that there's food being processed in my stomach as opposed to, being fasted, being on an empty stomach, not having to worry about digestion playing a role in your workout being affected. I don't know. There's probably other stuff I'm doing to not continue to progress upwards in the trends of feeling strong, of feeling good, of looking good. I think there's a lot of fluctuation happening, and a big part of that is because of what I'm doing or not doing. But I mean, a part of that is life too. Even the most elite, the best of us that are doing everything right, there's going to be fluctuations. Life has its ups and downs. Your body's going to have its ups and downs. You're not going to look how you do at 4 a.m. in the bathroom, how you do at 4 p.m. at work or wherever, at school, wherever. You get what I'm saying. There's a fine line between being satisfied that what you're doing is enough and pushing for more when you know that you're actually doing the right things when it comes to certain facets of life. For me, that's the gym, but for you, it could be something else. There's a lot to figure out, but one thing's for certain for me tonight is that this chest pump is going to be sick. So I guess let's just jump right into it, and I'll catch you guys when I'm all pumped up. Chest day done. Not the worst, but definitely not the best. Just based off of those hammer strength incline presses, wasn't feeling the hottest, but we got it done. Still think I got a pretty nasty chest pump, which is all that matters. The fact that I could see my pecs through a an XL sweatshirt, certainly a milestone. I think a lot of times you end up accomplishing things and you're looking so far ahead that you don't really appreciate what you have in the now. Like every couple of years, I always look back and feel like what was going on before was awesome. But when I'm in the moment, I never feel like that. Yeah, what was I talking about? What was I talking about? Appreciating the now. Yeah, very important. Like I'm wishing my arms were thicker, but there's a me in the past that would be elated to know that we're here now. So I don't know. Oh, been slacking on cardio, been slacking on abs, and been putting on the trash calories. So the midsection has definitely seen better days, but I can't really complain, all things considered, huh? There's some people, if they ate like I ate, they would not look like I do, even if they were working out like I do. So I am appreciative of my metabolism. Granted, it's not the same as it was. It's funny, we're bulking up, but it's looking a little dicey. I can't do the I can't do the thing. I don't know if I like that when you flex and your biceps look like pillowy. Your pecs look pillowy. All right, that's enough of that. Ooh, like I'd said, some complaints. We're not consistently progressing upwards, but we'll end up back on that upwards trend soon enough. You got to make sure you have your foundation set before you could build your beautiful tower or whatever. Oh, geez, or whatever you choose to build. You know, without that foundation, the higher you go, it'll just come crumbling down. God, that was probably horrible. That was cringe, wasn't it? But this chest pump is pretty based, if you ask me. That was probably more cringe than anything. I gotta get out of here. But we'll be back. This is all we ever do, so well, now we're just dilly dallying. So we will catch you back in the car for some chit chat. All right. Chest day done. Day 12 in the books. I did 15 minutes of cardio after posing down. I had to finish up quick because the gym was closing. I got a real bad habit of lining up my workouts. No matter how much I try to get ready before, I end up lining my workouts right up until the gym closes. I got to cut it a little short. We'll keep trying to avoid that in the future, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. I don't know. So I walked in there complaining about my back hurting. That's why I took a day off yesterday. My back was not hurting, but my shoulders happened to be hurting pretty bad for most of the lifts. A lot of what I didn't record, I was like trying exercises out, then deciding that they didn't feel good, and then I would move to something that did and record that. But it's funny, it reminds me of when you complain to your uncle about like a stomach ache or something, and then he stomps on your foot, and so he's like, well, are you thinking about your stomach ache now, or does your foot hurt? I don't know, maybe that was just my uncle, but what I'm saying is that maybe one pain was distracting from the other pain. Like I didn't feel any pain in my back really pushing at all, but I was feeling a lot in my shoulders. That being said, though, pretty good chest day. In terms of progression, if I had all of my pillars set, if I was more hydrated, more well fed, and better rested, I would have killed it in the gym today. So given the fact that I was feeling how I felt, I'm glad to do what I did. We're not always going to be at our best, but if we do everything that we can to get there, then we should be. I'm just saying that I'm not holding myself to that standard because I know that I didn't have all my ducks in a row going in there. So, like I said, I'm glad to have gotten done what I did. I guess I should say, though, I moved the 90-pound dumbbells for like 3 or 4 reps or something like that, which I don't think I've ever pressed the 90s before. So that's a PR for me. I mentioned, I think, 2 chest days ago. On one of the chest days, I mentioned that I had hurt myself pushing the 80-pound dumbbells on the incline back in high school. So going past the 80s is a milestone for me, and I'm happy about that. I bring that up because I was complaining about not being at my full strength or whatever, but we're hitting PRs, so that's progress. If I had somebody in there with me to give me a spot, there's arguments that if you can't get the weight up yourself, you shouldn't be pushing it. But and you could see in the set, if I included it, it took so much work to get the 90-pound dumbbells up to start the set to actually, do my first rep, that most of the energy in the tank was gone. Granted, I got some decent reps out of it, and this is the case for a lot of lifts, if you have somebody there to help you out, get you started, and be there to spot you, to give you assisted reps to finish out to and through failure, that's where the real growth is. Granted, it's easier to go on machines when you don't have a spot, but the stabilization and the freedom of range of motion and paths of movement that you get from doing free weights are hard to replicate. So it's important to incorporate them at least sometimes. So all in all, some good, some bad. You take the yin with the yang, that's just how it goes. I hope you guys like what I'm doing with the videos. As you could see, if you've watched any of the first few versus the more recent ones, I've been switching up what I'm doing with the editing. I'm still keeping the chit chats before the workout and after the workout, but I'm not talking during the workout parts anymore. And I've been cutting up the clips to go along to like a music video almost. I had heard from a couple of people and just noticed, just based off of the views on the first video, that when I did a voiceover, like when I talked over myself doing the exercises because I didn't have the mic yet, that seemed to be a pretty decent format. That was never what I intended the format to be. I wanted to start out basically doing the Sam Sulik videos, the like talking before, during, and after, but decided that I wanted to switch it up. And going back to the first video, and just based off of what a couple people have told me and whatnot, that it might be a good route to look into doing voiceovers for the workouts instead of like a music video montage of clips. I don't know. If you have any suggestions, go ahead, feel free to leave a comment. It would be greatly appreciated. And I'm genuinely curious as to what any of you out there are looking for when it comes to these videos and what you prefer or don't prefer. So I think I've talked enough. We got plenty more of these to continue to chit chat. I don't have anything that's coming up on my mind, and I don't want to force anything for these videos. So we'll be back here tomorrow doing back and biceps and cardio and maybe abs and some forearms and some whatever. Don't want to put too much on my plate, but we're going to get a sick ass pump one way or another. We'll catch you back here. I'm going to go home. I'm going to slam some protein. I'm going to eat some food, eat some more food. Make sure you're eating your macros. Make sure you're getting your rest in. Make sure you're staying hydrated. Make sure you're doing your cardio. You probably don't like that one. But until then, stay cool, and we'll catch you later.